On the other hand, young people today also, not just in Bhutan but all over the world, face challenges that simply appear more urgent on their day-to-day lives. The pandemic, for instance, has made the life choices and chances appear rather grim. So to an average Bhutanese youth, climate change then remains a distant and abstract phenomenon. But this is also a matter of equity too, because the economic interests of young people must be prioritized as part of climate equity and transition. So here are two questions that I believe are worth asking and thinking about today. First, how can the government, and by the government, I mean the civil service, our constitutional bodies, parliament, and also our educational institutions, work better with young people? We need to humanize climate change for young people in Bhutan by creating networks, opportunities, and resources that enable them to articulate their lived experiences to the changing climate and have climate change as an issue that is very much relevant to their identities. Let me share how I think I achieved this. I started my career working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on the climate policy desk. I also ended this career on a high note as a negotiator at the COP27, where I got an intimate look into the negotiation process, the collective bargaining, and coalition building aspects of climate diplomacy, and I could not stop talking about my work. So I, along with a group of like-minded friends at the Global Shapers Thimphu Hub, a voluntary youth network that I'm part of, started the Bhutan Climate Futures Lab, a community project that won a grant from the World Economic Forum to make policy conversations more accessible to young people. We designed and facilitated 9 workshops for over 400 students, ages 15 to 24. We went to the law school here and talked about the UNFCCC process, the hospitality school to talk about food systems and the LEDs, a liberal arts college to talk about public policy analysis, and high schools to talk about the circular economy, green careers, and raising venture capital. What surprised me the most was that the more sophisticated these conversations became, our participants wanted to be more challenged and were so keen to say, how can we get involved? What can we do? It was magic. So, we are currently running an incubation lab that again aims to engage over 100 Bhutanese youth and provide seed funding for climate entrepreneurships via climate initiatives, via entrepreneurship, creating dialogue, creating knowledge products, and telling stories. And this is an invitation for anyone in this room to get on board either as partners or as participants and help us amplify our impact. My second question is, how can young people in Bhutan today meaningfully take ownership of our country's legacy? What do I mean by that? When it comes to Bhutan's reputation as a climate champion, young people in Bhutan inherited the narrative and an environment that was already conserved as well as protected. But what is the story that we will tell about Bhutan today? With Bhutan's carbon negative status at risk, with our own increasing consumption and emissions, I suspect that we need a reframing of GNH, our pursuit to remain carbon neutral perpetually, and how Bhutan aspires to contribute to global climate goals with more impacts. And for young people, owning the narrative is a start. Also, young people, we need to position ourselves in places of power and influence. But you also must believe that you deserve and that you should be in these places of power and influence. My advice? Get in government, the judiciary, in finance, run for office, or find ways through your voice, through your votes, through your personal actions, via which we can perhaps put better people in charge. I know it's not very innovative, but I say this because I know that it is easy for young people to exist in some spaces. Young people all over the world have taken up admirable spaces on social media, entrepreneurship, community organization, and so on. However, it is far more courageous to also claim spaces that are uncomfortable. I am most concerned about the increasing disenfranchisement as well as disenchantment of young people in this country with our politics and public service. And this is where we need young people in the country to be the most engaged today. And so, this is your invitation to consider or reconsider. It is also my pleasure to bring your attention to a box that will probably be floating around the room in a while. In 2021, young people in the region living in fragile mountain ecosystems wrote a glacier declaration. The students of this law school, in fact, played a pivotal role in creating the draft. As the declaration will be read in some time today, you will be asked to write a climate action pledge. This pledge will go into a time capsule to be opened after 50 years. And we will see how well or how bad we have done after that. And writing a climate pledge is also an opportunity for you to exercise your agency today. I hope you participate, and thank you for listening.